welcome to the first News from the Front episode with Khador versus Legion of Everblight. This matchup is Irusk 2 versus Lylyth 2 on the Steamroller 2015 scenario Close Quarters. This scenario has kill box, and the friendly flag can only be dominated for one control point, while the enemy flag can be controlled for one control point or dominated for two control points. The first player to hit 5 control points wins the game, or, of course, performs an assassination. Scoring starts on the second player's second turn. I won the roll-off and went first, as you can see me deploying here, and I'm basically just spreading all my guys around since I know I'm playing against Lylyth 2. She has a tremendous amount of shooting, and I need to cross the board as fast as possible against her. And if I can do that, things are looking mighty favorable for me. This will be a very relaxed type of battle report, as you can see from the lack of passing around on the camera. This form of battle report will be much easier on me, since I can just plop down the camera on a tripod and hit record, and then speed up the footage, take out the audio from recording, and of course just go with it. So here the Lylyth player is now setting up, and you can find these lists in the video description, as well as other details that I might add once this video is released. We shake hands and the battle begins. The Decimator gets 1 focus point, and the Ghazi assassins activate first and they run. Trying to stay a little bit spread out, that way when the Ravagore start firing away, they don't die as easily. Then the Decimator activates and then runs, spending his 1 focus point. Then a little deliberation as to what to do next, and the Black Dragons then activate and they simply run up. Also spreading out as much as possible. Then you see the standard back there. His standard model fell off the table and its standard came right off, so that's why you see it trailing him back there. Then this activates and they run, of course spreading out as much as possible against those Ravagores. And then we check command with Valichev, move everyone up. Then Irusk goes, he casts Tactical Supremacy onto the Ghazi assassins, and then check to see how much movement Energize will give me, and I decide not to do it. So then the Grey Lord turn in and then activate and run, check, make sure everybody's in formation. Sylys and Reinhold run, and so do the Grey Bears, and they stay spread out. Then Tactical Supremacy triggers, the Ghazi assassins move up, staying spread out as much as possible, and then turn goes over to Lylyth 2. So Lylyth activates first, and she pops her feet, which is no surprise. She takes a shot at a Ghazi assassin, hits him, and he dies with failing a tough roll. Then Lylyth fires on another Ghazi assassin, hits, and he fails his tough roll as well. Actually, he passes it. Then Lylyth takes another shot at another Ghazi assassin, hits, and he passes his tough roll as well. Then we have some deliberation as to what to do next, considering casting Shadow Pack or not. Also measuring out my command area to tell him what models are in my tough bubble. So then Lylyth decides to take a shot at a Ghazi assassin, hits, and he fails his tough roll, unlike his fellow brethren. Then there's a snap shot going at a Ghazi assassin, that kills him outright. Then Lylyth casts Shadow Pack, giving her entire battle group stealth. Then a Ravagore activates, advances up and takes a shot at a Ghazi assassin, deviated to the 4, so they basically just he boosts to hit Ghazi assassin. Then his second shot, he puts his Animus up this time around, and he boosts to hit, and he hits, And the Chaos Assassin passes his tough roll. He's knocked down and also on fire. Then I use the measuring key to make sure that there are no other models within the 3-inch blast radius. Then some duration, and then the second Ravagore activates, and he decides what to shoot at. He shoots at the Chaos Assassin on top of the hill, and he boosts to hit, which hits, and that kills him outright. With some little talk back and forth, then he boosts to hit on his second shot at a Chaos Assassin, and he puts his Animus up, and that shot deviates and goes nowhere. So far, so good. I was expecting these Ravagore shots to be quite more dangerous than how they are right now, since the Scalar templates are kind of scattered about. They're not presenting a wall, meaning that my troops can move over and contest the flags, not just yet, but more importantly, jam his heavies. So then the Teraph walked up, he took a shot, and the Chaos Assassins are now fleeing. So they're currently not doing their job since they're fleeing, but I have a little trick up my sleeve to stop that from occurring. And Teraph takes a second shot at the knockdown Chaos Assassin, which hits. Actually, that was at a Black Dragon, which hits and kills him. He failed his tough roll. Then we have the Naga Nightlurker took a shot at the Nyss. Kills him outright. And there's no AoE on that. A bolt thrower walks up and takes a shot at a Nyss. It's in range. Boosts to hit. Hits the Nyss. He's not in the tough bubble and just flat out dies. Then we have some duration from the Lylyth player. And he takes a next shot at a Nyss in the back. I believe this Nyss was in Irusk's tough bubble. And that shot missed. So then the Lylyth player is checking to see if the second bolt thrower would be in the control area of Lylyth, and he moves up, puts flight up, and then boosts to hit on the same Nyss that the bolt thrower previously missed, and he also misses this shot. Then he's got some deliberation as to what to do, since this feat turn is not going the way that he planned. So then the Shepherd walks up, removes all the fury from the Ravagore, and the second Shepherd does the same exact thing. I like calling them Ravagore unit attachments, or should I say War Piece attachments, since whenever you see Ravagore, you see a Shepherd. So why not call it a Ravagore attachment? The Blackfrost Shard moved up onto the hill, gave unit stealth, and the Forsaken takes some fury off, and then we have some fire tests on the Chaos Assassins, and they do not go out, so they died and they failed their tough rolls. Then Irusk walks up, decides what to do. Then he puts Battle Lust onto the Chaos Assassins, so they now have rallied. Then he still decides more what to do. He checks his control a little bit to see what that distance looks like. And then the Chaos Assassins activate and they run. They're looking to engage as much as possible. And so do the Nyss. So they run up and get in the way. Because that entire battle group has stealth. There's no point in shooting. Then Valchev is right smack in the middle. That way everyone's in command. However, that exposes him quite a bit. Then I have some more deliberation as to what to do. And the Decimator walks up, gladly takes that point of damage from the Scalar template, and just positions himself for further turns. I have some more deliberation as to what to do. Currently looking at the Black Dragons, but I decide to activate the Grey Lord Turian first, and they're running as well. and that Turnian these Turnian are running between the Scather templates that when they don't auto-die, since they only have 1 point for some reason. I'll never really understand that. Then the Black Dragons go, and they issue their Iron Zeal mini-feat, and they run as well. Lots of running against Lylyth too, but he got a Swarmer. Gotta connect to her lines as fast as possible. The Black Dragons finally finish running, and the Kovnik also runs alongside them. Great Bears then activate, and they also run, and I did a little bit of a deliberation whether or not I want to put them on the defensive line, since I know that with the Ravagore Animus, that would set them all on fire. So then all the activations are done, the Chaos Assassin Tactical Supremacy, and they jam up as many beasts as they're capable of. Then the Lylyth 2 player has quite a bit of... he spends quite a bit in a tank, as we say. That is, he spends quite some time thinking as to what to do. He's still doing that right now. Then activates a Forsaken, and he does the Blight Bomb for, I want to say, like 4 inches or so. 3 inches, that is. And so he Blight Bombs a Black Dragon, which doesn't do any damage. Blight Bombs a Chaos Assassin, kills that one. And then we have... let's see here. He's still deciding what to do, since that Chaos in front of the Forsaken in the back was just out of range. And we have a Teraph who shoots at... either that was a shot or something. Oh no, that was Lylyth. Lylyth is now shooting, and now Lylyth takes a shot at Valachev, and this shot actually does like 2 points of damage to him, something really low. So that forces him to buy another shot, and he's shooting at a Chaosy Assassin that has jammed his Ravagore, and he boosts a hit on this shot, and that kills that assassin without a problem. So now he's deciding what to do. Actually, he's making melee attacks. Or taking shots, one of the two. So he made some attacks there. I didn't see anything being pointed at, so I'm not really sure. Now he's looking at a bolt thrower. So then this bolt thrower is going to attack the Nyss that's in front of him. He's boosting the hit, and that misses. Then he buys an attack, and that boosts and kills the Nyss without a problem. He's got some more deliberation as to what to do. Then the Ravagore finally activates. He aims, and he's gonna take a shot at the Great Bears. He's firing at Yadovich, and measured it, and then he puts down the Animus. That shot hits. So exactly what I feared. All the Great Bears are now on fire. So then POW 15 on Yadovich, and he's A-OK, passing his tough roll. He doesn't mind being shot in the face with a fireball. So then we have some blast damage, and he's boosting the blast damage on these Great Bears. And they survived the boosted blast damage, which was quite surprising. I was expecting at least some damage to them, or maybe a spike here and there to possibly kill one of them. So then we have Naga Nightlurker walking up to take a shot at Yadovich. And he hits, and does get crit poison off. And he passes that tough roll once again, being that Great Bear. Oh yeah. So then we have the Succubus activates and puts some Animus up on the Teraph. Not really sure which one. Probably the Ravagores. So then we have the second Ravagore activating, putting the Animus up, boosting the hit, and kills the Black Dragon, leaving a Scather template right there. Then we have some more deliberation on the Legion player's end. Then he activates the Teraph. Decides what to do, still looking on the table, trying to determine what's the best play to make. And he takes a shot at a Nyss that's on his flag, and he boosts a hit, and he aims this. And then I check to see if the Eve is in the tough bubble, which he is, and he fails and dies. And Teraph riles up, or actually no, he puts up his Animus Counterblast onto him. And so that'll be quite interesting in the future as to what to do. And I rolled some random die for some reason, not really sure what for. Still more deliberation on the Legion player's end. Just fidgeting around a little bit, just doing what he does, I think. Then he activates the second bolt thrower, that's the green one closest to the camera, and he puts his Animus up flight, so he moves to engage the Nyss that are in front of him, and then he boosts to hit on a Nyss, and then he buys an attack and boosts to hit on the other Nyss, and that misses. Then the Forsaken goes up, takes the Fury off of the red bolt thrower, and then the Shepherds are activating, removing Fury around, because that's what they do. He still has the Blackfrost Shard left to activate, so he's still trying to determine what to do with them. Then he activates the Blackfrost Shard, and they're moving towards the Black Dragons, looking to kill some of them with their Ice Bolts. So they're all there, and then one Ice Bolts at a Black Dragon. It's behind the wall, and he hits, and he's dice off 6 on this, and that causes no damage. Then we have another Ice Bolt at another Black Dragon. That misses. Then we have the last Blackfrost Shard member. Actually, that's it. So we have fire going on the Great Bears. One of them passes a tough roll. Oh, actually, Volkov fails his tough roll and dies to fire. So Kolsk and Yedovich are still alive, and the fire went out on Kolsk, but it is still there on Yedovich. So then it's my turn to deliberate as to what to do. And I have Irusk go first. Then he feats. So I'm mainly using it for the Pathfinder here on the Black Dragons that are to his right. And then I put Battlelust up onto the Great Bears, as well as the Black Dragons. Then the Grey Lords activate, and they advance up, and they're ice caging Lylyth. And they're all in the 5-inch range of stealth. So the first Grey Lord hit, and that reduces Lylyth down to defense 14. The second one hit reduces her to defense 12. And then we have the last Chaosi Assassin alive, who charges the Forsaken and does not do anything to him. Then we had the Black Dragons activate, and they're charging the Ravagore that's farthest away from the camera that's on the other side of the hill where the Shepherd is. So one of the Black Dragons tried to charge through the Scather template just to see if you can make that tough roll. No, he died. So then checking to see who has melee range to what, and this guy goes... Actually, that was the officer who walked through the Scather template, taking that point of damage without a problem, not minding at all. So then we have a 2-man combined melee attack going at a Blackfrost Shard member, which just explodes him. Then we have a charge attack going at the Teraph, and that misses. We have a charge attack going at the Ravagore that hits, does a bunch of damage. Actually, that was at a Blackfrost Shard member, who are now fleeing. Then we have a charge attack going at the Ravagore, which does a bunch of damage. Another charge attack hitting, doing a bunch of damage. Then we have a charge attack going at someone. That whatever that was, kills that model. It actually helped if I expanded this the size of the video what I'm looking at, because I just did that right now. Then we have Nyss that are shooting at his support stuff, because that's what I can see. Two of them try to shoot at the Shepherd in the hill, and they missed. Then Nyss does a wallop attack, attacks with the Nyss Claymore at a bolt thrower. I think he did some damage there. Then we have the Great Bears who are issuing a charge at Lylyth. Oh boy. So we have a Counterblast go off on to Yedovich, and Counterblast doesn't do anything. So then we have, oh boy, that's 13 points to Lylyth, who has to transfer that. And of course, these Great Bears are backswinging. So they're doing a bunch of damage to Lylyth, which she has to transfer over to her beasts, which is quite helpful for me, since, of course, if I can get damage onto her beasts, especially a lot of it, without having to go through all that armor, I'll take that trade without a problem. So then I have the one of the, I guess this is the backswing attack from Kolsk onto Lylyth, and she takes this damage. Actually, no, that she did not take that damage. She rolled an allocation die. She transferred off to another beast. Then I have the Decimator walk up, walks around, putting himself into position, because that's what he does, and also blocking line of sight to Irusk. At least at the time, I was thinking that I would block line of sight to him, since his volume is much larger than Irusk, but Irusk is on a hill. I had to look at the line of sight rules, but that didn't change how this game turned out. So I had a charge attack go on to the Ironfang, and he killed that Forsaken, since he can see through the Black Dragons thanks to Martial Discipline. Gotta love that special rule so much. And that's it for all my activations. So the turn passes over to the Lylyth player, and he's looking at how bad, well, essentially that there's not much left on my side, but I almost have a full unit of Black Dragons alive and kicking, and I've connected to his lines, so not good. So the Naga activates first and attacks Kolsk, who does a bit of damage to him. Then he buys another attack, and I want to say that missed, or he's debating whether to boost. Looking at it, it looks like that's 3 Fury on the Naga, so that attack must have hit. So then the Shepherd walks up and medicates the Ravagore for 3 points, so it's now fully functional, because I knocked out the Spirit with the Black Dragons. Go Precision Strike and Malice. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Then he's now deliberating as to what to do. He's looking at the Teraph there. So the Teraph goes and he boosts to hit onto Yadovich, and that he hits and does some damage, so that causes a tough roll on Yadovich, and he fails his tough roll. Then he buys an attack at a Black Dragon that's in front of him, and that attack hits, and that kills, and he fails his tough roll. Then we have more deliberation as to what the Lylyth player wants to do. Fidgeting around, using what he has to do, that way he can think. And he's still going at it. I have my thoughts on why I created this list on the Facebook page for this channel, so you can find that in the link in the video description below. Then he finally activates the Ravagore, aims, boosts to hit, puts the Animus up, and shoots right at the Black Dragon. And so he does damage onto Black Dragon that causes a tough roll, and that Black Dragon fails. Then we have blast damage going on that causes a tough roll. He fails. Then we have, there should be more blast damage rolls going on. So now here's another one that kills. That he fails his tough roll. Then he's got the Ironfang, who I think he boosts the blast damage on, or he's considering doing that. He does not, so that causes no damage to the Ironfang, because he's a boss like that. Then we have more deliberation on the Lylyth player. He's still trying to determine what to do. So then we got the Forsaken. He's looking at, yep, there he goes. He activates the Forsaken. He's doing the Blight Bomb. And we've got Kolsk in there, and that forces a tough roll, and he fails. And we got the Greylord turning in there. He fails his tough roll, and the Nyss Hunter. He failed. They're no, yeah, that's right. They're no longer a friendly faction because Valachev died to Lylyth much earlier on, so that definitely cleared out a bunch of them. Then he pointed at the Nyss Hunter that's in front of the Greylord turning. He's like, "Is that a Nyss Hunter?" Since he's missing his arms and his head, I lost those bits since those models are so fidgety to work with. sure some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Why is the hilt a separate piece? Ravagore activates, moves up to Black Dragon, starts doing melee attacks, killing them slowly. Then we've got more deliberation as to what he should do, and Irusk is looking at the flag to his right. He might have an option here. Just saying. Lylyth is then Lylyth player still determining what to do, and he pointed at the bolt thrower, and he's taking a shot at one of the Grey Lords, and that hits, and that causes a tough roll, and he fails that tough roll, and causes a command check, and they pass without a problem. Lylyth player is running out of models to activate. Since the Teraph went, Naga went, one bolt thrower went, both Ravagores have gone already. Still trying to determine what to do. Then Lylyth then activates, and she shoots at Sylena. And that should kill Sylena without a problem. Or she missed. Something happened here that caused that shot not to happen. Yeah, interesting. It's not normal. She aims, she's right 10. She hits in a 5. Oh well. Dice are dice. And looks like he activated the second bolt thrower, the red one, and he's asking if he has line of sight. He's also checking control on Lylyth. I'm telling him that he has line of sight to the broken Nyss with the red bolt thrower, since he could draw a line without a problem to it. Looks like so he put his Animus up flight, and he wants to shoot something. So he shot at whatever was next to the Iron Fang Conflict. That was... I'm sorry. I just noticed that it died without being able to tell what it was. And he still has more stuff to activate. I'm curious as to what that is. Oh, the Succubus, of course. And the Succubus doesn't have a melee weapon, so he's just going there to block flames, I'm guessing. So then tough fire checks onto the Kovnik, and he takes 1 point of damage. Then Irusk gets all of his focus, and he spends one. He allocates 2. Yep, he allocates 2 to the Decimator. And I cut out the footage where I was looking at the rulebook, since that took quite a bit of time. And then I started asking the state of his war beast, since this is basically just trying to get an idea of how damaged they are, since of course they took a bunch of damage from Lylyth transferring all of the Great Bear attacks on her. And I'm still in my control phase here, and I'm still trying to determine what to do. See how much focus to give the Decimator, and even if he's in threat range of any of these beasts, which he's not, so I just allocate 1 to the Decimator. Then the Iron Fang Kovnik goes and he charges the Teraph, and he hits. And then I'm looking for my allocation die, and there it is. So then I roll for damage onto the Teraph, and he takes quite some damage right there. And I have the Nyss Hunters activate, and I issue a charge order with them. And the Succubus doesn't have a melee weapon, so I just basically get in there. And then Sylena does her charge attack, and probably does some damage. Actually, that was a... Now here's the normal Nyss, and he hits, and he does some damage to whatever he charged. Looks like bolt thrower. Yep, that was in the bolt thrower. Then I have the Black Dragons go, and they charge the Ravagore to finish him off. Then the Sandy Bear runs, gets him, and I think I do a crit knockdown on the Ravagore sometime, one of these attacks. So then that finishes off the Ravagore without a problem. Then I have Irusk go, and he runs to the flag, and he checks his control to see the distance between. Then I also check kill box during his activation. decide what to do. Then I have Sylys activate and move around. Then I have Reinhold go and run, mainly to act as a screen. Then I have the Decimator go, and he runs to jam up some more, get in the way. And then finally, Sylys activates, and he runs and puts a screen up in front of Irusk, and now Irusk is dominating that flag, his flag. Then we have the Lylyth player going, attacking the Nyss that are in front, and the Nyss are finished off completely. They did their job, they're buying me time. And he's still deliberating as to what to do, since there's a fully functional Khador Jack in his face. Still trying to decide what to do, since Ravagore really can't finish off a Khador Heavy without a charge. Then he's still deliberating what to do. Fidgeting around with the Scathe template rings. More fidgeting. Looks at the Black Dragons. Then looks like he was about to measure Lylyth's control. And then he points at he's checking line of sight to the unit leader. Actually, he asked if he was in the tough bubble. And I told him, yeah, he was. So that tells me he's considering shooting them with Lylyth, and so he does activate Lylyth, and he takes a shot at the Black Dragon unit leader. He hits, he kills, and he toughs, and is steady thanks to the Iron Fang Kovnik. No sleeping on the job, Iron Fangs. Then he activates the Bolt Thrower, and he takes a shot at the Decimator. He hits and pushes him 2 inches, which stops him at the Succubus, and that does some damage to the Decimator, probably like 1 or 2 points, something like that. Then he activates the Ravagore, who walks up into melee combat with the Decimator. He swings and hits, does 5 points to the Decimator, swings and hits, and does 1 point to the Decimator. Then he buys an attack, he hits, and does 3 points. Since I can see the dice, and so he's rolling close, I can tell you what the damage points are. And then he rolls quite well here on this next attack, buys another attack, he hits, and does 1 point. He's rolling quite badly on these damage rolls here. And it does some damage to the Decimator, and there are no systems crippled out on him, which is quite scary considering that the Decimator is capable of getting 4 focus next turn and wiping out that Ravagore. Then we have Fire Check on the Iron Fang Kovnik, and we're not exactly sure if he's in the tough bubble, so we ask another player that's not involved in the game, and he says yes, he's in, so I tough it, but I don't tough it, so the Kovnik dies. So then I allocate to the Decimator. Looks like I allocated 2 to him right there. So then I have the Black Dragons go and charge the Ravagore, and this is the free strike coming from the Shepherd, and she kills that unit leader with that angry stick. So now here we go, they're doing charge attacks, and that one went on the Teraph, and that kills the Teraph. Then I have a redirected charge attack. The unit leader should not have attack, since he did a field promotion this turn, and unit leaders that field promotions that have it on the same turn, they don't occur. So now the Decimator's going, just rips all attacks on the Ravagore and finally kills him. Then I have Irusk go. He moves behind the flag with that screen of Sylys and Reinhold, and then he concedes since he's not in range of Irusk. We check out of the game, that is beyond the recording, to see if he would be able to kill me, and he moves his Bolt Thrower over, checks ranges, out of range of Irusk completely. So that leads into a Khador victory through scenario over the long term, but there you go. So, if you liked this format, please like and comment down below on the specifics as to what you liked and did not like about this format, since I'm still very new to this type of video. And I have a Facebook page for this channel. You can find that as facebook.com/FrozenKommander, same spelling as the YouTube channel itself. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next News from the Front episode.